If you love to create better visualization in Microsoft Excel for your dashboard just like this, stay tuned. Before we start creating from the scratch, let's see what the task is all about. A client just reached out to you and his subject says, I need help to tell story with data. My company wants to publish revenue trend between 1973 to 2022 in a magazine to show the impact of technology in our business. The dataset contained revenue from in-store and online transactions, which we just launched a few years back. I have tried to do this on my own but couldn't come up with a good design. Below is the Excel file containing data. Thanks. So now, here are what the client has tried on his own and this. But after all, we're able to actually get a final solution that looks just like this. And if this is your first time, hit the subscribe button, share, like, leave a comment, let me know what you feel about this. The first thing is for you to I'll right click and click on insert, then that will insert a new column for us. What I'm going to do right now is just to Ctrl C to copy this. I'm going to paste this right here and I'm going to rename this to what? I'm going to rename this to unused. So I'm not going to use this in my chart. That was why I have it renamed. So from here, I'm going to highlight. So excluding this one, hold my Ctrl Shift down arrow to actually highlight to the last row for me. Quickly, I go to the top ribbon and I click on insert. And from there, what I'm going to do right now is to go to where I have my chart. So there are various charts to be used right here. But when you click on recommended chart, those are what you're going to have this visualized with. But it doesn't really tell the kind of story we want to tell. Maybe that was what our client actually did to just, get a default chart. So go to all charts right here. And what you can see are the groups of charts we have existing in Microsoft Excel. So you can actually select this area chart and this is what we want to create. So there are various types of, this kind of charts. We have 2D and we have 3D. So what we're going to use right now is the 2D, which is this one right here. Then click on insert. So we have just inserted our chart. I can actually make sure I open it up for we to see what it is. So the first thing I love to do is for me to cut it away from here. I want to scroll all the way up. I'm going to have to paste it right in here. Nicely done. Okay, don't bother if it covers this place up. I can just move it a little bit. Exactly. So now, if you look at what we have at the top right here, I'm going to scroll a little bit. Now it says the revenue for both in-store and online revenue are in billions. So which shows that this particular axis right here is not on the right, axis, or it's not on the right format. So what can we do is to format it. So I'm going to have to double click right here. And once I double click, it's going to actually open this for me. Another way to do this is for you to right click on it and go to format axis, click on it, and you still have the same thing. Scroll all the way down and you're going to see where you have number, click on it and scroll down. Now you have this. So what we want to do, because we don't want to add more zeros to show it in billions, instead we want to remove those trailing zero right away from here. How can we do that? Very simple and easy. Now you have this particular part right here where it says $# comma # and 0. So just have a comma right here. And once you've done that, just click on add and that removes all your zeros away from it. But this doesn't look very cool because nobody can tell if this is actually in million, thousand or billion. So what can we do next is for we to come right here and just open a double quotation and have your B inside it and have it closed. Then we can now click on add. This gives us billion from 0 to 25 billion. So after I might have done this, I can actually go ahead and have this closed for now, and I'm gonna have to remove my grid line. So this makes my chart look more cleaner. So for the legend, I'm going to take it off. We don't need it. So our chart is going to be a static chart that is going to be some kind of published inside a magazine. So we don't need it to be some kind of very much dynamic. So after this particular chart is some kind of looking a little bit ugly, what can we do? So there is no way this can look some kind of cool on our chart. That was why we got the second one, to actually make sure we look up to things in case we want some kind of fixed things. We'll know where the year falls in. So right now it is time for we to edit the year we have right here to make sure we have the right formatting. The first thing I'm going to do is for me to actually keep the first one right here and select from here down to where we have 1979. So I'm going to have it deleted. So leaving 1980 down, I'm going to have to select from 1981 down to 1989. I'm going to take it off. So it's taking shape. So if I scroll down a bit right now, I'm going to have to take it from 1991. I'm going to take it off from 1991 to 1999, delete it. So if I go down right now from 2021, or from 2001 rather, I'm going to take it up down to 2009. Then starting from 2011, we have to just make sure we take it down to 2020. We'll make it a 2021 this time around, just 2021. So let us go back all the way up. So now this is how this chart looks like right now. It looks more organized than the previous one. So the fun part of it is that right here we're gonna have to make it a little bit dynamic. Instead of we just some kind of put a random text right here, we're gonna make this some kind of very, very much interesting to read, to tell more story. So let us do that right now. So clicking on it right away, you can type anything you want to type right here, but that is not what we want. So from here, let's see how we can start telling the story. I want to see where we start gaining more height when it comes to this particular, online introduction to our business. I think coming right here, this is the spot. And if we have to look towards it, I'm going to scroll down a bit. So where we started this particular journey of our online introduction into our business in 2004. And if I scroll down, I can bet you that in 2018, we have much more, revenue generated down to 2022. That is a nice story, right? So what can I do right now? I'm going to come right here. I'm going to type in here my in-store revenue. So the next one I'm going to type in here, online revenue. So I want to calculate the sum of what? The sum of the revenue we generated in 2018 when we start getting more sales on the new introduction of technology into our business. So the in-store starts from here down to here. So the next one is the online. So we just have to use the sum function. So 2018 starts from here, and right, that is it. The next one is for me to actually calculate the percentage change. So coming right here right now, we just have to just do this by this gives us the percentage change. Control 1 to format it. Percentage, you can actually do this. Nicely done, right? So now what can this do for us? Very important. So this can be used for the part where we have to some kind of type in our title. So we can actually type this in right there. But we have to make sure it comes into the cell first. I'm going to type in here caption. So now if I go all the way down right now, what I'm going to do is to some kind of type in. So with my equal to right here, I want to type in double quotation, and I'm going to have the name of the company right inside it. Then I'm going to have to give a space, and I'm going to close the double quotation right for it. I hope you get it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is this. So we're going to have to put an ampersand right here to concatenate it. I'm going to say annex toy online. You get it? Next to online revenue, we have to make a reference to this particular cell right here. So we can now close this. And once we've done that, we can open another double quotation, give a space before you start typing. I'm going to have to say has gained more edge between. So now between 2018, so this is when we start getting more edge on online sales than that of in-store. So it's 2018 to 2022. So between 2018 to 2022, right? So after we have done that, I'm gonna say by, and now we have to close the double quotation. It is time for we to concatenate the percentage we have for it. So the ampersand comes in again, and here we go, the percentage. You get that? Then we close it, and that double quotation space is gonna be compared to close ampersand, and I'm gonna go with in-store. So don't worry, the end result will shock you. You'll be like, wow, I think this is what I was thinking as well. You might be thinking the same thing with me, you don't know. I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna have under double quotation, I'm gonna give a space, I'm gonna say after. So after it was launched in 2004. So remember, this was launched in 2004. Okay. So we can now close the double quotation and hit our enter. Then we have this. So in 2004, we just actually typed in was this particular year when the online was kind of launched. So now the previous years before now, we had $0 all through because there was no sales for online and it was not introduced in those years. So I'm going to select this one right now. Once you have it selected, come right here and put your equal to and scroll back down right here and pick this up. Hit your enter key. Let us go back and see what we have. So it looks like this. Let's some kind of go home and let's see how we can reduce it. So nicely it has been reduced, but why do we have this huge 0.4 and other preceding number like this? What can we do to have it reduced? This is supposed to be our percentage, but it's not rightly showing as a percentage. Let's get down. Going back down, you can double click on this. You're gonna have it activated again. So if you look at the percentage, it's actually on red and here is on red. So place your cursor right here, type in here text. So we're gonna have to use text function to do this. So after you might have used the text function, come to this particular part where your cell reference ends and place the comma right there. Once you have placed the comma, what you can do next is double quotation hash point hash. The next thing again is for me to some kind of actually add my percentage. So if you want to have it in 2 decimal points, you can add 2 hashes, right? So right now I'm going to type in my percentage. It's going to be on 1 decimal point, and I'm going to have to close my double quotation, close my bracket. I'm going to hit my enter. Let's go back. So now we have it formatted the way it should be. That is okay. So what is left again is that I want this particular online revenue and online revenue plus the in-store to be in capital letter. So we can use function to do that. Double click on it and try to identify what color is the in-store and the online. So right here, I'm going to come here, type in here upper, then close it. So come right here for the in-store, upper is a function, close it, hit your enter key, let's go back. So this will make this some kind of stand out a lot. So if not that we've just some kind of done this right now, all I would have done is to some kind of, highlight this in this particular color. But right now I can't do that. So we're not done yet. So the next thing is for me to double click inside here. And I'm going to have to drag this right here. We can now find the color that is going to fit into what we are doing. So what if we use something like this color? That is going to be cool, right? The next thing is for me to select this one. I love the color I used for it. I can decide to go with this color, either of it goes, but I want to use this particular kind of color right now. And the next I'm going to have to put it on 20% because I want to reveal what is behind it. Does that make sense? Sure. Now, can you see it? It reveals what is behind it, the trend as well. This is very, very cool. So we've done this and that is awesome. The next thing again is for me to actually find the highest sales point on my in-store and highlight it, and the highest sales point on my online sales platform as well and highlight it. How do we do that? Very simple and easy. So what we can do right now is this. I want to move this away from here for now. I'm going to bring it back, and before then, let's go down. So if I come here right now, I'm going to type in my highest revenue, highest revenue points. So highest revenue point. So we want to go for this in-store. And to do for in-store, all we have to do is to actually use the max function. Max function will help us to do that. So max. So once we've used max function, we go up. We can kind of select from here. That is the in-store. Control Shift down arrow to the last row. So you hit your enter. But how can we know which year does this some kind of fall into? Very simple and easy. To know the year, I'm going to have to place my cursor right here. I want to use the index and match function to do this. Index. And the index is asking for the array. That is where is what you are looking for is some kind of setting. What am I talking about? The answer we're looking for right now is the year that actually this particular value falls into. And that is going to be where I have my years right in. That was why I just got to copy this and I actually named it unused. Not that I'm not going to use it, but because I don't want to some kind of include it inside my chart. So right now I'm going to select from here, Control Shift down arrow, and now comma. We don't need to lock anything right here because we're not going to copy this down or even to the right hand side. So the next thing is for me to actually use my match function for the row number. So match. And the match is looking for the lookup value, and it's going to be this value right here, and it's asking you the lookup array. Where can I find this? So you're going to find this inside here. So go down, and now it's asking for, do you want me to give you exact match or something similar? I want the exact match, of course. Give me that is 0. Close your match and close the index. Hit your enter key. It gives me 1999. Is this correct? Let's just find out. If I scroll up right now, I can see 1999 corresponds to this value. So instead of us to scan through and see what it is, what don't we just use functions to do that? So we've just gotten this done. Now the next one is for we to get for our online, the highest sales for online. The highest sales, this is going to be very easy. We don't have to waste much of our time right here. The highest sales, if we go right now and actually bring in our chart to this side here, the highest sales would fall between 2002 to the year before it right here. Let's find out. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to type in here max. So we can even reference the cell from here just like this and reference the whole column and hit our enter key. So right now we can copy the same formatting we have for this one, use the format painter, have it for this, so the same formatting. So it gives us 20 billion plus. So we scroll down and this is it, 2020. Can you see it right now? So that is it, 2021 rather. 2021 is the highest. So if you want to find out if this is true, you can use the index and match, just like what we've done right here, to find out. But it's really true because this is what it is. That is the max right here. So now the next one we can do is for we to represent this right on our chart. So what I'm going to do is to go here, illustrations, shapes, and here we have a text box. I'm going to have to put my text box right here. When I reference this is going to be equal to, so we go down and pick the install highest one, hit my enter. So right now the install is going to be sitting at the position of the 1999 right here. Can you see it? It's in the position, right? But I don't want to do okay. We have to put it on billion. That is what we need to do. So which means we have to work on concatenation. Because this is going to be some kind of something that should go for magazine. We don't really need to do some kind of too much because it's not going to be updated anytime soon. It's one-time use. Why don't we just decide to some kind of type it in instead of with some kind of do it this way? So what do we do instead? So instead of we to have 23401, so we're going to have to double click on it. I'm going to have to come right here and remove this. I'm going to say $, 23.4 billion. So we can actually concatenate this and format this and look just like this, the previous one. But why would we have to waste our time once the client has told us that this is some kind of needed in the magazine, not something that has to be too much interactive? So we've done this. I'm gonna go to the top. I can just go ahead and use something like this for it. Okay, nicely, and you fix it at the right point. But before then, Ctrl+1, we have to take off the line and the fill color for it. So it's going to live here. So the next thing, I'm going to double this. I'm going to have to bring this right here. So, and now we have to go down and see what it is. So here's going to be 20.3. So we're going to use 20.3. So 20.3, that is exactly what it is. And what if I just want to change the color? Go to text option, go right here and use this color for it. Nicely done. So this is not all, but our story is almost, getting ready. So if you remember vividly, we some kind of deleted the legend we have for it. So we have to show what this particular one is all about and what this particular one is all about as well. So that will actually bring me back to some kind of double this again. This time around, I'm going to have it right here. I want to have to Ctrl+A to highlight it. Install. So install, and I have to some kind of bring it right in here. So go to the top, or still I just wanna some kind of make it more bigger. So change the color to white, and here we go. Open it up. This is what it is. But I'm not too cool with what I have right now because I'm kind of fading into the chart. So I want to make sure it's turned out from the chart background. I will definitely come right here. I want to select this. I'm gonna select something like this. This makes it more popped out, but I'm not too much saturated with this. I want to go right here and I'm going to change this one to this particular area black. And now it is time for we to see. Here is nicely done, right? So double this, Ctrl+D. I'm going to have this right here. Now I want to type in online. So I just have to reduce this a bit. Yeah, so we can centralize it. So we can just work and make sure we reduce this. Something like this would be cool, right? Okay, the next thing I want to do is this. I want to highlight the point where we started our online, stuff, like that, What I'm trying to say now is this. Here we can see in 2004, if I scroll a little bit down right now, I want to take this off. Scroll down. In 2004, we introduced online platform into our business, and since then our revenue had been going up, and it has even overshadowed the in-store by far. So I want to mark that area. How do I do it? So I'm gonna come right here now, insert, go to illustration, go to shapes, and I'm gonna pick this one with arrow, and here it starts from here. I just want to have to hold my shift down to have a straight line. So something like this would be very cool for me, but I don't like the way the arrow goes up, so we have to change that. So I'm gonna Ctrl 1, and quickly we have to go down, and let's change this color to match. And I want to go right here. I'm gonna use something like this, so I have to make sure it's on 1 point. Nicely done. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to change the arrow direction. So I want to take it from this to this, so I have the down. I'm gonna have to take this one and have it right like this. So now here we have make it disappear. So now this is what it is. So it doesn't really tell any story, so we can actually come right here and go to the top again, and we can pick this particular free form for we to do this. Right now I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna just drag and make sure I do this just like this. So we can change the color to it. I can just change it to something darker, just like this. So we can add arrow to it. So we want to go ahead with this, and if you decide to use something like this, that is your choice. So now you can see what we have right here. So the next thing for we to do right now is to double this, Ctrl D. So I'm gonna have to open it up. Inside it, Ctrl A, I'm gonna say online. So we have online launches in 2004, but just open it up to show everything. So not too cool the way it is right now, we have to reduce it. I can go to home and have all of them reduced, just like this. Nicely done. So I can now come here, and for this alone, so I can come here and highlight this. So after highlighting it, I want to go to the top left right here. I'm gonna make it bold, and I want to change the color to something like this to match the color of my online. So we just want to go ahead and want to put it right here. So can you see this? So we can even some kind of reduce this and make sure it goes this way. So nice story. So I can go ahead and close this, right? Okay, now we're almost done. Let us read through what the story is all about. If this really flows well to what people can read in the magazine and understand what impact the technology they've introduced into their business has some kind of done since the inception of the introduction. Look at it. We said NX toy online revenue has gained more edge between 2018 to 2022, right? So that is not the beginning of the introduction. So you can see it started growing, so by 43.2% compared to in-store. So what if we can have way to some kind of bring the in together. So now nicely done. Compared to in-store revenue after it was launched in 2004. You get it right now, and anybody who wants to some kind of interact with this would definitely know what this is all about. So the next thing that we have to do right now is to see how can we deliver this to the client. So we have to export this as PDF, but be very careful when doing this. If you just go ahead and click on any cell, go right here, go to file and go to export and click on PDF. You just click on save, and you think it's gonna be well. That is gonna be wrong. It doesn't really look well. This is what we have. Can you see? It looks some kind of awkward. It doesn't look cool at all. Many pages and everything's got splitted into different pages. So what can we do? I'm gonna have to close this. Before we can be able to do this nicely, what we can do is to some kind of select here. And what we can do next is for we to some kind of make this particular part here to stand out. I can go to the top level and I can go right here. I'm gonna pick this particular illustration, go to shape here. I want to make sure it starts from here. Hold your shift key to the top. So I want to stop it right here. And now Control 1. So I have to change it to something that looks just like this. I can make it bold, and we have to change the color to something like this. So once we've done this, I can just shift it a bit, and we can just make it some kind of not too much appearing too much. No, exactly, we have something like this that beautifies our chart. I love it this way. So now for we to some kind of do this rightly, what we can do is to click on this, the chart alone. So once we click on the chart as a whole, what we can do next right now is to go to file, from file go to export as PDF. Let's see what we're gonna have. Click on publish, click on OK. Can you see what we have right now? Exactly the chart. We have the chart where it should be. Now this can actually be given to our client alongside with the Excel version, and if he doesn't want to use PDF, he can some kind of use the online tool to convert this to JPG, PNG, JPEG, whatever you want to call it. So, and it's gonna be cool. Can you see this? And this is very sweet. I love it. So now if you love my YouTube channel, just go ahead and search through the homepage and see what tutorials I have for you on Power BI and Microsoft Excel, and SQL is coming as well. So try as much as you could to subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you feel about my contents, and like and share to friends and family out there, because we're going to be having to drop more awesome content